I am Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM21. It's career mode. We're on episode 56. We start off with updates on 3 races: the Ronde van Vlaanderen, so Tour of Flanders. We are in. We are one of 6 invitations for that. Get Wevelgem. We are out. We did not get an invite to that one. And the E3 Saxo Bank Classic, we did get in there. So we get 2 out of 3, and I think that tends to be our ratio this year, as we are the number 1 team coming back from the rankings. So we do get a lot of the races we want. Not everything, but we're definitely getting a lot. Tour of Flanders is certainly going to be a good one for us. Looking forward to it. And we pick up with stage 3 of the Tour of Provence, and it's Mont Ventoux. We are climbing Mont Ventoux in this one. We have a massive break. We had a massive secondary break, and that's because we lead, and every other team wanted to put somebody in the break. We are actually quite heavily favored today. Quintana is the biggest contender. Thibaut Pinot, the only other real contender. And, at this point in the game, Quintana is add a few years to his age. Pinot, add a few years to his age. They've both deteriorated, and both were already past whatever prime that they did have. Well, anyway, Berlikov has already won a stage. The first 2 stages were punchy. He finished second on the first stage. He won the second stage, has a slender lead. Martin Guerrero sits 4th or 5th overall. Isakov is in a decent position overall. Now, my plan entering this stage with this group of riders, I had intended to set Berlikov up for somebody attacking with 7-8k to go and forcing the other teams to do the chasing so that we could ease off and protect our leaders from that point, making them do the work. Now, I intended on the attack to come from Isakov, as he is high enough up to get off the front, close enough in the overall standings to force them to chase, and to then use Martin Guerrero and Berlikov in a 1-2 punch late on to then set ourselves up for the potential win. Unfortunately, both Berlikov and Martin Guerrero are the only ones seeing red today, and for Martin Guerrero, it's -4. Yeah, ouch. So with a -4 for Martin Guerrero and Isakov on a +4, I'm going to flip that. I'm going to use Isakov as our number 2 guy, go for the win with Berlikov. Berlikov, is he okay? Well, the mountain rating's there. The resistance -1. So 70 on the resistance, not great. He is beatable, but when you add in Isakov and an 80 mountain and a 70-something resistance, 76 resistance, he's going to be a very, very well supportive number 2. And because Martin Guerrero does sit in 4th place overall, they don't know that he's on a -4 race day condition. They don't know that he's going to fail in his attack. Therefore, they're going to ease off. They're going to let him go. So, I think he'll be okay. Arnautovic, though, he might not be okay. So we've got some climbs coming ahead of us, and he has no energy. But you see that breakaway of 23. We aren't the only team that decided to bring that back, fortunately. And with a little help and support, we are slowly bringing those guys back in. But you can see in sitting up, they pulled out a minute and a half more. That team just not chasing the way I was. They were supporting, but they aren't chasing in the same manner. So just got to keep an eye on that gap. 2 minutes is not a problem. Good thing for me is that blows up 23 riders plus 3 riders chasing them. So that blows up 26 riders plus Arnautovic. So 27 technically, but that does take quite a few riders out of contention. That gap out to 3 minutes though already. So we are going to need to begin chasing that back. Arnautovic, his recovery is on. Ooh, gosh, that gap out to 540 already. Jeez, that team is just not chasing effectively. Never mind for taking those guys out of contention. We worked them hard. They're still going to be, I think, fairly tired. But yeah, that hurt. that very, very quickly exploded into a massive gap on that climb. I don't want to burn the rest of my team to chase this thing back. I want them for the climb. And that's Arnautovic is the only non-climber here. But again, the gap growing. We do need water, and we're going to need it before too long here. Who to send back? Be our other closest thing to a non-climber in Igashin. Yeah, that gap's now 9.5 minutes. That's going to be hard to pull back. Igashin's going to have to get put to work here, which sucks. I really did not want to do that at this point. Whoa, Gabe. Did you just open the gap further doing that? Yikes. I hate when it does that. Okay, gap was at 9.5. Down to 9. It is coming the right direction. I hate burning up Igashin before the climb, though. This really sucks. Nobody else interested. Arnautovic dropped down to 111 riders. I do want to set this one up as a proper climb. We're going to have to lead the chase. I mean, it's up to us as we lead the race, and we have the favorite. You put those two pieces together, and that's why there was a 9.5 minute gap, which is back to a 7.5, and the group is all blown up already just at the base of the climb. So that does mean we've worked them hard, but that doesn't mean that there isn't going to be one or two riders near the front that can't, somehow stay away on this thing. We'll set an 85 as kind of a base, as that's our top climbing. I'm going to go with Isakov and then Martin Guerrero here. Other teams aren't going to pick that up for what it is. Kikovci or Riabovis. Let's see here. 75, 74. Better resistance. Yep. Okay. And then Igashin on top. Igashin, go ahead and start your push. $85 should bring him out front, considering he was riding a 73.
The pack is increasing its work rate.
13K, 13.5. That's quite a while to be going that hard. Let's back off a little bit now that he's out front. Set an 80. I'd love to see the punchiness of him. We don't get that. He's a much punchier guy, but too big of a climb. Chalet Reynard, it's this side of Mont Ventoux. One of the three sides. Into the lower slopes now.
Things are hotting up at the front.
It's going to ease off, but then we climb for that last 10K or so. Dang, he's going. One of the favorites for the stage is 27th overall at a minute 48 down. Okay. We're going to accelerate just a little.
Attack with the finishing line within reach.
Let them go. That part doesn't worry me. Set our own tempo for this. I mean, we've already done damage to Berlikov, and we're going to do damage to everybody else, and we are inside 10K, and it's straight up from here. So letting those guys have a little bit of gap just goes to destroy them. We're already bringing them back, and bringing back the very first breakaway rider. Garrett Thomas, down to a 76 mountain rating, down to 63 resistance. It's okay to let him go. Igashin is done, though, so you cannot rely on him any longer. On to Kikovci. And we are going to need to gel up for Riabovis here pretty soon. Kikovci is going to be able to go for a good little bit. Gap down to 7.5 minutes, meaning it has not come down. However, I've gone through two good climbers already to try to pull those guys back, meaning they are going to run themselves out of energy to be able to try to hold that gap, and then it's going to come down really fast when they do run out of energy.
We're into the last 5 kilometers.
As you can see, it's already starting to come back with a better climber. We already pulled back 40 seconds. Thomas, yeah, he's got a gap. That's okay. It's not a big gap.
The distance has definitely widened.
And we just split the peloton in half. And we are inside 6K now. Martin Guerrero's time is going to come fairly soon. We're going to gel up for him.
The favorites is giving an inch.
Force the other teams to do that chase of him. 5K. Way above us, taking over. Not for long, though. You know what? At this point, I don't know if I want Martin Guerrero to attack. He just doesn't have that kind of energy. We got Isakov and Berlikov looking strong. And Martin Guerrero's just going to have to lead them out. He's already toast. Three and a half K and a 6-minute gap. Yowzer. There's Quintana pushing, riding solo, but Isakov is keeping up with him. There's Narvaez on his wheel. Isbert coming up, trying to support Quintana, but you can see that's not actually working out for him. 2.5K to go now. And we're going to push harder.
This climb features some dreadful
2K to go. Down to 20 in the group. Berlikov gel. Isakov, push that a little bit harder. This is going to destroy Quintana. Chrome has won the stage. 1K to go, so Isakov pushing hard. Leading out Berlikov. Berlikov, finish this thing off. Here comes Quintana on his wheel. And sprinted out for the finish line. 3.5 minutes. Hopefully we don't lose anything here. We are winning the climb. Crossing the line 13th. There's Quintana. Here comes Isakov. Isakov's about 4th. Crossing the line in GC contenders. That's going to move him well up the order. Two brothers, 17th and 19th. And Martin Guerrero falls way down the order to 52nd with his minus 10 billion race day condition. Berlikov, yeah, good. Should be good. Hopefully, he did not lose too much time to a breakaway rider. I don't know where those guys were GC-wise. That could have stolen the race overall. I sure hope it doesn't. And it does. It does. They just said and leader's jersey. The 3:37 gap that we end up with is too much, and we fall to 2nd place. What a shame. We win and lose at the same time. And it was comfortable too. I mean, it was comfortable. Isakov in 6th. He would have been 4th. Yeah. We blew it. A, breakaway too big. B, didn't keep them close enough. Needed to sacrifice a second rider when Arnautovic ran out of energy, because that 2-minute gap exploded to 9.5 in a ridiculously short amount of time. And that was a matter of a handful of kilometers. And there was a team on the front, deceiving as it was. You know, if they had just pulled up, I knew we would have had to have done something. That group tricked me. Absolutely tricked me. And that gap just exploded. And it ended up just too much. I told you that just because we're pulling guys back and it's blowing up doesn't mean anything. He's a 72 mountain 65 resistance. But with a 9.5 minute advantage, we pulled back 6 minutes on the climb. Berlikov climbed 6 minutes faster. But the gap he had was enough. Disappointed because I know we could have won, but 2nd and 6th, that's still good. And you know what? I can accept that. And we're in the beginning of the Vuelta Andalucia. This one is a big deal for us because it's a massive sponsor objective, and they need me to win it. 3.5 or 4 stars, and we have to win. Not going to be easy. Berlikov was not scheduled to be here through the racing assistant, the planning assistant. I decided I need Berlikov here if we're going to have a chance at winning this, especially when Karaman is not yet available. So here is Berlikov. He's on a +1 today. I do have a good group of climbers surrounding him, though Martin Guerrero is not here, so our top 2 support guys are unavailable, but we do have a good group. Otherwise, Isakov is the next best, so Isakov being here along with this overall support team gives us a chance. But there's a lot of good climbers. There's multiple climbing stages, and there's a time trial stage. So for Burlikov to win, or at least get, like, say, a podium, so that we don't totally blow the evaluation, not going to be the easiest task. 4 riders in the break, 3-minute gap. We already begin climbing. The final climb is equal to the first 2 climbs combined. You just get a little respite in between. Not quite as steep either. Right now, though, pace, yeah, not that bad. Inside 120k, we're going to need to get water fairly soon, but I think we can maybe just about get through that next climb, or at least the proper climb, and then we can get water. Group of crashers off the back, but they are already back on board. That does go to show just how little pace we are pushing right now. Things are going to ease off as we round this corner, so I think we can send somebody to get water. Maybe Kikovchi or Luko. Go ahead and send Luko back. Isakov doesn't need to be protected. We want Burlikov protected at all times. Conserve every ounce of energy he can for that final climb, because we might need it. Maybe not. Maybe we can set ourselves up to be in an advantageous position. I love the descent on this one. I do tend to do well with those, usually. Not always. We'll see. 3 minutes still to those 3 riders. So they are very much at a manageable state right now. We do have the water taken care of. We're going to need it again fairly soon. A lot of gentle undulation, but slowly going downhill. Top 3 have split. 30 seconds between them. That's an awfully big gap. They might not come back together, and that's good to assure that they won't be a threat. And at 50k to go, we need to get water one final time. With some descending, I think the pace is going to be overall quite high. So it should be okay to get water now. 42k to go. A lot of pace, but I'm still okay near the front. So even though I'm getting some blinking red, where we're not quite keeping up with the tempo, we're down to 1 rider off the front, down to 2 minutes. Yes, that's an easy catch. Luko, Kikovchi, the only ones really feeling it. But you can see that fatigue in the legs, and riders off the back. We're down to 88 in the Peloton, and we haven't even started the proper climb. And I've got most of my guys in really, really good shape right now. Okay, over this descent, make sure nobody's too far back. That's as far back as we are, so we're okay. Oh, I'm excited that we are in pretty much the best shape you could be in at this point, with plenty of Peloton riders not in the best shape that they can be in as we go to begin the final climb. Now let's take a look at the profile before we actually start it. 13k, 6% average, 13% max. It eases off a little bit at the top, but in that last half it's quite steep. But here comes the climbers already pushing on. Already at the base, they are trying to attack, meaning it's time for us to take control and make this thing happen. So Isakov, do we want Rivera at a 77.75 or a 76.71? That's an easy choice then for the day. Oh, that was not what I was trying to do. Butas, there you go. And Luko and Kokovchi, 74, 73. All right, Kikovchi. Don't let those guys get away. Wow, they caught the breakaway just like that last rider. And they did not succeed in getting away. We're going to back off a little bit as we have 12k to go on the climb. First half, not too bad, except for in little chunks. There's one of those difficult chunks at 9.5%. Again, they try to attack. That's going to destroy those guys, though. Ruskop. Then Vermeulen. Okay, they get away. And that's good. They're taking themselves out early. Okay, where is the rest of the team? They're still here. They're still here. Okay. Luko and Kikovji getting used up. Narbutas is going to have to take over here fairly soon. And we are through that first little bit. It's going to ease off. We're into that middle yellow sector. And my first two guys are both going to be out of energy. That's okay. Go, take over for a second. Get that little acceleration. That's your job. Push past him, and Narbutas takes over. Rivera is looking similar to Narbutas. Isakov only slightly stronger. Burlikov, though, very much hanging in there. 48, and a lot of riders have been dismantled, ejected out the back. Down to 32. We want to be solo over the top and continue on. 29. And we take a front position with Carapaz. There's your main contender. That's the one to watch out for. He goes clear. He goes early. 4.5K. And you could see those shoulders bobbing really bad already. Gel up for these two. Those three need to pull him back, setting up Burlikov to make the final push before the top. Narbutas does really well to be just a little bit behind him and make him ride solo, burn his energy, setting us up for the possible go. But here goes Cepeda, who I think is the other favorite, 79-73. He's going to go clear. He's going to burst past him. Isakov and Rivera both running out of energy at similar times, but Burlikov in a very good state. He's going to go solo. We're down to a group of 8. Burlikov now 6 riders, and Burlikov we're going to attack at 1.4K to go. Now it's a group of 3. Carapaz and Cepeda, the only ones to go with us. We left the other guys behind. 600 meters. He is solo. He has enough to get over the top. And he's opened up a 25-second gap over the top. And he will go flat out. 36 seconds. Do not need to recover energy. This is keep pushing. 41 seconds. 42 seconds. 1K to go. 45-second advantage. Into the race lead with a stage victory. Carapaz, Cepeda coming across together in second and third. Alaphilippe, Vansevenant, and Alanda. Here comes Rivera with the next group. Isakov there as well, so they're still in a good position, those two anyway. 9th and 10th on the stage. That was good. That was a good start for us. 40-second advantage over the 2 chasers. Of course, that's going to be a little bit larger when you add in the time bonuses. So 3/4 of a minute, minute 20, minute 50, 2:10. You can rule out most of those from contention already for the overall. That's giving us a firm grounding, a solid start to this one. But the race is far from over. We have the Volta Algarve going on at the same time, and likewise, we need to win. And it's a major objective. Between those two objectives, there's a 4-star and a 3.5 star, both required to win. Not easy at all. Stage 2, punchy, but there's quite a bit of climbing in there. I mean, you have 4 climbs with just a little bit of descending on your way to the finish line. Stage 3, flat. Stage 4, short, punchy finish. Stage 5, 18-kilometer time trial. Okay. Problem here is we have no leader. No leader has arrived at that one. We do have Roman, the time trialist, but climbing-wise, 68, punchy 72. We have got to try to get him as best we can to the finish, along with Mikado Maeda. We'll have to play that one out. Meanwhile, Andalucia, stage 2, punchy. We can afford to quick sim that one. But stage 3, another mountain stage. Harder to gain lots of time on that one. Harder to lose time. We're in a good spot based on that. Stage 4, interesting. You could definitely gain time on the climb. You have that little descent and then you finish the climb, but then you have a descent, but then it flattens out a bit towards the finish line. How many kilometers can you go? You got to recover on that descent, but you could hold off a chase. Maybe. Stage 5, time trial. But only 13K. So Burlikov if he can hang on to, like, say, the advantage he has now, or extend it a bit, probably needs to extend it a little bit, you'd figure he wouldn't lose any more than a minute or a half minute on that because of how short it is. We have a chance. Both races got to be difficult, and we're going to need something of a result to have decent sponsor confidence going forward. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.